Hello, everybody. It's Monday night. Once again, another episode of the Support Our Hashtag Creatives podcast, hosted by StreamYard and viewable right now on Facebook and YouTube. So, let me tell you a little about myself. I'm the founder and producer of Support Our Hashtag Creatives. The goal of this organization is to level the playing field so that underrepresented demographics have the same opportunity as everybody else to get their projects made and seen and distributed. I'm also on the board of directors of the Bella Levy Foundation. The Bella Levy Foundation, its goal is to fight human trafficking and provide a safe haven for its warriors. So we'd like to welcome our guest, Crystal Starnes. She's a public figure, advocate for victims, as well as an actress, among other things, and also a prolific podcaster. So, Crystal, why don't you briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Crystal Starnes, and I am a public figure, and I'm from Western Pennsylvania, and I do podcasting. I have been doing some acting on the side, and that's who I am.
Okay, well, welcome, Crystal, once again. We want to talk first about a court case that happened a few years ago. Crystal was involved in, and it kind of had a very big influence on her life and led to the way what she does today relative to her podcasts. So why don't you begin the story about what happened?
Okay. I used to be a probation officer. I was a probation officer for many years, and I ended up working under a judge that sexually harassed me for many years. And I did not come forward until years later. And I ended up filing a federal lawsuit against the county courts. He was employed by the state. So I ended up suing the state of Pennsylvania. And I ended up winning my case. And it actually created case law that no public figure judge is under qualified immunity if they do this type of behavior. He tried to appeal the case, and he ended up losing. That he thought he was immune because judges, fall under qualified immunity, but whenever they sexually harass an employee, they don't fall under that. So anyone out there that has a case similar to my case can use the case law in their case. So that was kind of rewarding that my case set a precedent for future litigants and other attorneys that can actually cite my case. So that was a victory for me.
Yeah. And tell us about qualified immunity. What does that mean?
It just means that they're protected, like their job and everything. Like they can do certain things or make certain decisions as a judge, and they can't get sued. But given my situation, because I was an employee under him, he did not, he wasn't immune under that. It's different aspects. I mean, I don't know all the details of it. You'd have to look it up online. But basically, a judge cannot be sued unless they do, something similar to, like what he did to me.
Yeah. And what was the reaction of the community that you live in to when they found out about this?
It was a lot of negativity on social media, a lot of harassing comments, attacks, people trying to blame me. Some, people blamed him as well, but it was just a lot of fictitious comments that people didn't even know about the situation, and they just wanted to make up things because they didn't know the entire story. And what was really difficult for me dealing with it at the time was I couldn't talk. I couldn't, respond on social media. I couldn't defend myself. And that was very, very difficult. And I still worked there. So I had to go into work all the time facing these people. And I had coworkers telling me, you shouldn't be doing this. You need to stop this. I had threats made against me. But, I did have also a support network. I had some of the coworkers were supporting me. And, I had both. I had the people that was against me and I had other people that was supporting me. So I think that helped get me through it because I did have some support, but it was very, very difficult going through it. I was very depressed, very hard to go to work. I suffered a lot of health problems from it. And, I went through a lot. So it was
Yeah,
a very
that's not
difficult time
surprising.
for me.
Yeah, not surprising that it was a very big step just getting involved in the first place, and then
Mhm.
you probably didn't have any idea what you would have to go through in total, but something. But it was a learning experience for you, and obviously now you have the opportunity to tell everybody about what they should do if they're victims, if they have your situation or even a different situation.
Right.
Right.
And that's why I created Voice for Victims.
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
you know,
exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So tell us about Voice for Victims podcast.
I created Voice for Victims because I didn't want other people suffering in silence like I did for years. I wanted people to know that they have a voice and they have the right to speak up and not be afraid. So I wanted to create this platform for people out there that have a story, and want to broadcast it to the world, because if they broadcast their story, they're going to end up helping someone else because there's other people that might be in a similar situation. And I wanted to create that so that people would not be afraid anymore. And I also wanted to welcome like mental health therapists, doctors, lawyers, anyone out there that wants to spread awareness about legal terms and just educate the community. I mean, that was another reason why I wanted it, because like when I went through this, I did not realize that I could even file a lawsuit at the time because I was a court employee and we were considered at will employees. And, he always said that we basically he could fire us for anything. So that's what I believed for years. But I ended up meeting someone from another department in the building that told me, well, you can file an EEOC complaint. And I didn't know what that was at the time. And then she educated me. And then I was like, oh, okay. So then that's when I did file that. And then I hired an attorney. And then, all the steps started to play out after that. But, if she would not have told me about that, I would have never known all of my rights. And that's why I want to educate people, because there's so many rights out there that people are not aware of that they have. And I'm trying to, get as much information out in the community so that I can help other people.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Very good. So, how do people get in touch with you if they're interested in being on your Voice of Victims podcast?
So they can go to my website, voiceforvictimsradio.com or crystalstarnes.com, and reach out to me
Okay.
there. My email is crystal at voiceforvictimspodcast.com or crystalstarnes@crystalstarnes.com. And, I'll be in touch. But I would love to hear from anyone out there that has a story, because I'm trying to spread awareness and I want to help as many people as possible.
Very good. Yes, I'm going to put this on the screen. Hopefully, it's spelled correctly. Let's see if I did. Crystal Starnes. Oops, I forgot the M. It's crystalstarnes.com. Okay, right.
There you go. .com.
Okay. Right. As a matter of fact, yeah. So once you go there, then you'll be able to go to contact Crystal and then make things happen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And now, for this particular podcast, do you have a lot of people typically coming to you, or do you go out and search for people?
I have people coming to me. I've never had to search for anyone. Surprisingly, I actually have an agent out of New Jersey. He sends me people all the time. He's an agent for a lot of actors throughout the United States, and he actually contacted me. I did not reach out to him, and he's been wonderful. And I've just had people reaching out to me on my website. I mean, I'm known around the world because my case was national. And, I have people even reaching out to me from other countries. I mean, I've had people on from India and from another country. I had someone on my show before in the past. If you just watch some of my shows or listen to any of them, because I've done audio podcasts as well. And, it's kind of amazing that I'm so recognized around the world of it's just shocking, that I was able to connect with these people and, I didn't really have to do anything. They just reach out to me.
Well, I think that's totally amazing that you're able
It is.
to do that. Because
And I think it's because of who I am. I really do, because I can't explain it any other way. I'm constantly getting contacted by people, and I have people, I have shows already booked for the next several months. And, I still have people like on a waiting list that I need to get in contact with. So it's not hard for me to get people on my shows. They want to come on. So that's nice, because I feel like I am making a difference and I'm helping people.
yeah, well, that's once again, it shows how important the message that you have to convey to people goes hand in hand with the fact that you are known,
Hmm.
in quantity, and people can knows they know what you're trying to do. It's a very great thing that you're doing. So of course they're going to want to be on your show. And as you say, the goal is for people who might be afraid to speak out. They could feel comfortable being on your show.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
one thing that I've noticed too. I've had a lot of people that have reached out to me, you know, tell me that they feel very comfortable talking to me because they know that I've been through the situation. They've told me that, it's hard to talk with somebody that's never been through it, because they can't kind of relate. But with me, they can relate
Yeah.
because I lived it. And it's easy, for them to open up to me.
That makes a whole lot of sense. Yes, it does. Okay, so now you have a number of other podcasts and TV shows that that you're involved with, and tell us about those. And I suspect that the target audience for these other podcasts might be different than Voice for Victims.
Yeah, they're a little different. I have the Crystal Starnes show, and I interview entrepreneurs, actors, producers, singers, songwriters, anyone out there that wants to promote themselves, or, even if they have a story, I put them on the show as well. And I also have, and it actually airs on Just TV, and it airs on my YouTube channel, Crystal Starnes Show. And then I also have Healthy First Now podcast, and I welcome fitness trainers, nutritionists, dietitians, doctors, anyone out there that wants to spread awareness about healthy living. And the reason why I created that was I felt that, a lot of people that get victimized, sometimes they don't take care of themselves. I noticed that with me going through it all those years, I didn't always take care of myself. And then, I ended up having some health problems from it.
Hmm.
And I thought, you know what? I want to create something that can help people out there to try to get their mind off of what they're going through, whether they're in a stressful environment or whatever. And I want to try to educate about healthy living, so that, they can focus on that when they're going through that situation, to try to, get feeling better, and try to like forget about what they're going through, just to try to help them. So that was why I created that podcast, because I was just trying to help someone so that they wouldn't end up having medical conditions like I ended up getting from what I went through.
Yeah. Okay. So you have, as I said, Voice for Victims, which is deals in really serious subjects. People revealing, how they have suffered over the years, and hopefully people will get to feel better by talking, about it. And then they have the Crystal Starnes show, which involves people like entertainers and stuff like that. And Healthy First Now, where you talk about healthy living. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is quite a large selection of shows, and I always wonder how you keep track of all that stuff.
Well, I don't know. I'm very good at multitasking. So, if I could make more shows, I would. So I just don't want to make any more. I think I have enough.
Yeah, well, and of course, you have a whole library of shows that people can watch, of course, after the fact. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a good thing too. And yeah, what is your do you have any particular streaming platform that you prefer, or or not?
Well, I mean, I have some of them are on Blog Talk Radio, but everything's connected to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, the TV shows on Roku, YouTube. So, I mean, I'm all over the place. If you just Google my name or actually, if you just would go to my website, crystalstarnes.com, and join the community awareness page, you'll have access to everything that I do. I have everything on my website. So you can just connect on, up on the right-hand corner, it has all my websites, and then, all my links to all of my shows is all on my
Yeah,
website. And there's also a TV show about me. Justice in America did a TV show on me several years ago, and it's actually on my website as well. So, I encourage people to join my community awareness page so then you can have access to everything, and then, you'll find everything there.
yeah. Well, I think that is a great way to go. We always like to have one central point where people can experience the entire you. So crystalstarnes.com, as you said, from there you get access to and instruction on how to watch all her shows, apply to be on her shows, and all that stuff. So that's really great. So there it is on the screen. It's spelled correctly, I hope. Yep, looks like it this time. So yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
And then
Okay.
I also encourage people to subscribe to my channel, Crystal Starnes TV show on YouTube. Then you'd always know when I'm doing a show as well.
That's a great idea. I'm going to put that down also. So on YouTube, it's called Crystal Starnes TV Show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see if I got that right. There it is. Okay. So search for that on YouTube, and it'll bring her YouTube page up, and you'll have access to her shows in the future and shows that have gone by in the past. Very
Thank
good
you.
idea. Yeah, it's great. Okay. Well, we're going to take a brief commercial break here, and we will be back in a moment. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. At Support Our Hashtag Creatives, I offer a number of services to support those developing a project. Check out the Services tab of my website at supportourcreatives.com. If you are interested, please use the Contact tab on my website or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, and we're back. So let's go on to a totally different subject in the entertainment area. Tell us about your acting career, how you got, who discovered you, how you got started, some of those things that you've been in, whatever. So take it away.
Well, I have a friend named Bella Levy, which you also have the same friend. And she is the one that introduced me into the acting world and encouraged me to come out and do a role in one of the movies. So I ended up doing my first acting was in Saving Anna. And as you know, you were in the movie as well. Saving Anna was nominated for an Oscar last year, and I believe again this year as well. So it was kind of, neat that my first acting role, I was a church parishioner in that, and I was in two different scenes, and then it ends up getting nominated as an Oscar. So that was kind of exciting. And then I've done a couple other movies with the same producer, June DeGuizio. And, I'm still doing stuff. I have something coming up in the next couple months that I'm going to be in another movie. So it's been nice, it's getting me some experience doing. I've always wanted to do that. I always had an interest, but I just never, did it because obviously what I did for a career, previous, I, couldn't really do that. So now I'm free and, I can do whatever I want at this point in time. And it kind of helps me too, because it gets me out of my comfort zone. And I feel like it's therapeutic for me to do acting as well. I enjoy it. Like it's just, it's a different I don't know what word I want to say, but it's like a different environment. And, every acting role I've done, I've been comfortable with. So.
Yeah, that's excellent. Have you gotten into projects in film other than June DeGuiso?
Yes, I have. I forgot about that. And that's the other thing. I never looked into getting into acting. Everybody's reached out to me. I had another person reach out to me and wanted me to do an acting role in a movie called Friday the 13th, The Awakening. And I ended up doing a voiceover in it where I'm interviewing two gentlemen in the movie at the beginning, like shortly after the beginning. You'll hear me on that. And then I also co-produced a couple movies, A Wonderful Life, and I believe I also was a producer on the Friday the 13th movie too. He gave me producer credit as well.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then, yeah, I believe that was, yeah. I'm on IMDb, so all my stuff's on there.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's something that probably just came out of the blue. You probably never expected that you would be getting into this world.
Never. You know what? I believe it's God, because I don't reach out for any of this. I mean, you can even ask my husband. I mean, these people are reaching out to me. So I just think, well, it's God, bringing people together. We're all united, and it's like a universe. I feel that's what's happening here.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes, as I said, my wife Randy and I were also being seen on screen in front of the camera in a number of June's productions. So yeah, and we might be in the same one coming up very soon. Let's
I think
see.
we are.
Yeah, I know that we are. Even though I think filming is going to be done, in so many different locations, you just
Yeah.
wouldn't suspect that. Yeah, yeah, it's good. Okay, okay. Now, tell us about your voiceover work.
I've been doing a little bit of voiceover. I've had, again, people reaching out wanting my voice. I've been told by many people that I've got a really nice voice, and they've asked me to do commercials for them, so I've done that. And then I've also done commercials, just for some of the stuff that I've been advertising. So that's how I've gotten into that as well. I would have never thought in a million years that I had a great voice, but I've had a lot of people compliment me on that. So I figure if it's a talent, then I'm going to run with it.
Well, that's excellent. That you're able to take advantage of this, and people are reaching out to you. They want you to be in their projects. So that's more good luck for you in the future. Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Let's see. So, see, going back to Voice for Victims. Okay. Um, would there be any subjects that you would not be willing to tackle, or are you open to anybody's bad experiences?
I guess it just depends. I'm not sure what you're going to ask. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
for the Voice for Victims,
Yeah.
like, do you mean like people to come on the show?
Well, I think we know we go to. I mean, in terms of what kind of satisfaction have you got out of Voice for Victims?
Oh, I've had a variety of people on my shows that I feel that has been impactful. I mean, the most recent one I had, she was an immigrant. She came over here like 30 years ago from Russia. I believe it was called the Soviet Union at the time. And she's still fighting to get her citizenship. And, she had a impactful story that, I think is going to help a lot of people. So it's out there. And then, I've had a lot of different people. I had a girl that she's a singer now, and she was raped as a child, and she was brave enough to come out and tell her story. I actually had few rape victims on my show, and I think anyone out there that's been through that, they should listen to those shows, because they are very impactful, and these people have been successful. One of the ladies, she became an actress, and the other one, she's a famous singer. So I think that it's important to hear their stories. I also had another lady that she's an actress and a producer, and she suffered from a speech problem as a child. And she talked about that. And I was, you know, interested in that story because, my daughter had that, when she was younger, but she's gotten a lot better now over time. She, you can understand her. She's really progressed over the years. But it was nice to hear her story because, she's been very successful. And, no matter what challenge you face in life, there you can always be successful no matter what you go through, whether, anything as a child. Like, don't let your weakness keep you from, striving to do better or whatever. Don't think that, oh, I can't do anything because I'm suffering from this. That's not true. Because if you put your mind to it, you can get through anything. So, I mean, these stories that were on my shows in the past, I feel are helping a lot of people out there. So, yeah.
Hey, very, very good. As I said, it's something that people need out there, that get their voice out there. Yeah, and hopefully after being on your show, they feel better about things because of the fact they might have gotten something off their chest.
Right.
Right.
And it is like, it's nice talking about the situation because it does make you feel good. And the other thing I always encourage, because I do a lot of podcasting, like, every other day I'm always podcasting, for like 4 to 5 minutes in the morning, just trying to spread awareness and just talk about different topics. But I always encourage people to journal. Always journal, always document your feelings. If you're going through a situation at your job, and that you're not getting treated right, document it, date it, and document it. Keep a journal always, because you never know when you're going to need that journal down the road. I always journaled when I worked before, and I'm so happy I did because, I had years of notes, and that helped me with my lawsuit.
Wow.
It was so nice having that. I had pictures, a lot of documentation, emails, text messages, and I saved everything. And even when I went through my case, all the posts that were on Facebook and social media, I screenshotted everything, and I still have it to this day. All the comments that were made on social media. So, like, if I ever, my attorney said that, your story could be a movie. My story would be a very good movie. And I still have, all of the Facebook posts and everything. And I have all the notes, that I took, journaled myself, and I still have that. So, it would be a great movie. And, I still have the Facebook stuff. So, I mean, I think that would be something to be able to show, what happened to me. It's more of a reality when you see it, on paper, and actually see it on a picture or whatever to understand it more. I believe that.
That's amazing. It's important to keep track of everything because you never know when you're going to use it. Just like you said, that's amazing. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's very important to always document no matter what, because you know what? You might think, oh, it'll get better. I'm not going to need this. Oh, no, you could need it down the road. So document everything. And if you see something on Facebook and it's not right, you screenshot it. Keep it for your records, because you never know when you're going to need it. And people will post stuff and then they will quickly take it down if they think they did something wrong. But if you get it screenshotted, you have it as proof.
Exactly.
And my screenshots helped other people, because there were times that other people reached out to me and, they knew I had done that. And then I was able to provide it to them because I was doing it. Even if I would see somebody else getting victimized on there, I screenshotted it for the person to help them, because it just wasn't right.
Yeah. Well, when you notice abuse taking place on social media, do you try to reach out to the person who's being abused?
If it's somebody that I know, yes, I do. Absolutely. Yep. I don't hesitate. If it's one of my friends or, somebody that I know that they have a right to know, absolutely. I do it. Yes. I don't hesitate.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of attorney friends that I have given information to as well. And, they've been very appreciative of some of the information I've given to them. I was told before that I am very good at investigating, and I am. But I mean, again, that goes with the territory of what I used to do for a living. I was trained to investigate because I used to locate people as well, in addition to being a probation officer. So I learned a lot about investigating over the years.
Yeah. Well, I think that's so amazing. I never really thought of that. You know, just like you said, someone might put something up there on Facebook and then take it down right away. But if you capture it on a screenshot, yeah. So it looks like you always have your detective hat on or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just always observant, and I'm very good at it. Like, people will still reach out to me to this day, wanting me to look up things and find out information. And I help people out, and I will, use my skills and try to get information for them, the best that I can. But yeah, I guess I'm just gifted in it. But again, I went through lots of training over the years, so I learned it,
Oh
over
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
so.
So we can
I
apply.
know a lot of the websites to find out stuff, so it's, it just goes with what my background is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, another totally different subject. Tell us about your love of horses.
Oh, yes. Well, I got into horses because of my children. My children always wanted horses, and I finally, we got into it, and we had them in boarding facilities for, I think, like a year and a half, and then we finally brought them home. And I'm so happy we got them home because they were being abused in these boarding facilities. I mean, I could write a book on the stories that went on in these boarding facilities. But now that they're home, it is a lot of work, but it's nice to have them at home because I know that they're being taken care of and they're being fed properly and they're not being abused. So anyone out there that, gets into horses, I would highly recommend you have them at your property if you have the property, because boarding facilities, not all of them, but a lot of them, they will abuse your horse, and they won't take care of them like you would take care of them. And, I've experienced some bad experiences. And, that's why I'm trying to spread awareness about that. And like, I'll do a lot of podcasting talking about different things with horses, like with blanketing. Like right now in Pennsylvania, it's cold here and we have snow again in March. I'm shocked by it too. And, we had to blanket them today because of the weather change. You have to be, up on that. I've learned a lot going through this from the experiences. And, I try to educate every time something happens. If there's a mistake or whatever, I always try to educate because I want other people to be aware so they don't make the mistake that I made over the years. I learned a lot at the boarding facilities and seeing what happened and to my horses. And, I just don't want to see it happen to other people. So, but I love horses very much. I love animals in general. I actually live on a farm and I love wildlife. I don't know. I just feel passion for animals, and I don't want to see animals being abused. So, that's my love, my love for animals in general.
Yeah. And once again, this is a way that you get to help people
Mm-hmm.
by doing all these postings and how to take care of horses and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And I guess best by going to crystalstarnes.com and subscribing to the podcast, you'll get notified when she comes on. And that's why people will know. And you as we see, you deal with a lot of different subjects. Yeah. So it sounds like having these brief podcasts that last a few minutes it could be a very effective way of getting your message out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is. I mean, if you go on to my platform, you'll hear me on there talking about different things. Like, today I got on there and, just talked just briefly, just about servant leadership and, just encouraging people to journal. And, it's just like an encouraging thing, like I'll get on there and just talk about stuff and tell them that, keep going, don't give up, it's like, and I have so many listeners. So it's like, I'm making their day, I'm putting a smile on their face, and it makes me feel good when I put a smile on other people's faces.
Well, I'm glad you do, because we need more people like that. So, yeah. And do you find that even after you've done one of these I'll call a mini podcast episode that that you continue to get viewers even going into the future? People find them somehow.
It's actually bringing me a lot of viewers and listeners. Yes. Yes, I would encourage that to do that because, yeah, I mean, I have a great following right now, and I actually enjoy doing it. It's like starting to become part of my routine, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it pretty frequent until I went to the Oscars, and I came back and I just started back up doing it, and I actually enjoy doing it. I do it when the kids are still sleeping, and I'm able to do that, because it's quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell us about your recent experience going to California to the Oscar gala that you attended.
It was an experience. Last year, I really enjoyed it last year. I had a blast. My husband went with me and we had so much fun. I mean, I had fun this year too, but it just wasn't the same this year like it was last year, but I still had fun. I got to see some friends out there. I met for lunch, and I met a lot of people. I got to go to a pre-Oscar party on the night before the Oscars, downtown Hollywood, and that was an experience in itself. I was among like a lot of celebrities. It was kind of overwhelming for me, but I got to get on the red carpet, and I enjoyed that. And then I also got to go to a gifting suite. I've never been to a gifting suite, and one of my friends, who's a famous actress, Elaine Ballas, took me to that, and that was really nice. There was a guy carrying our bags around, and we got to go to different booths, and we got free stuff, and I got to meet so many great people. It was so nice because this gifting suite that I went to, they were trying to recognize animals of all things. It was like it was meant to be, because there was a guy there that did a movie about wild horses, and I'm actually going to be having him on my show. And him and I connected very well, obviously, because of the horses, and he's trying to spread awareness. So, I'm like, oh, you'd be great on my Voice for Victims show. And he said he would love to come on. And I said, I'd love to spread awareness about this. So, because I have a friend, Karen Wallow, that tries to save the horses. And, it was like, wow. And he knows her. So it was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, the universe is bringing all of us together. And then I met a lady that was an author for a soul searching book, and she's going to be coming on my show. And her book is amazing. I just started looking at it, and it has a great message in it. And I just met so many wonderful people. There was a dog rescue there, and it was a great experience. And then I met up with my friend Jackie Jensen, who's a singer, and we had so much fun together. And so I did have a good time overall. I mean, I had some challenges, but overall it was worth going. I just didn't like going by myself. I don't like to travel alone, so that made it tough for me. But I got through it, and now I'm home, so I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, I think that is so amazing that what you're able to accomplish when you're out there. We all know that networking is very important, and you seem to be very good at it. Because
Well, I'm very sociable, and I'm easy to talk to, and I'm not afraid to come up to people and talk to people. So,
okay, got it. I see. Yeah. Not all people feel comfortable just walking up to someone they never actually met before, and start talking. Might be better like for an introduction first, but you have, well, that's good for you that you can do it. I
think it's because of what I used to do for a living. Because you got to remember, I had a lot of people in my caseload, and I dealt with a variety of personalities, and then I had to testify in court for years, because we were always in court. So, I had to stand up in front of people, and in front of a whole courtroom at times, because sometimes they would actually go to a hearing. So, you have to testify back and forth, get questioned and all that. So, I mean, I have a lot of experience being in front of people. So it's not that hard for me to, talk to people, I guess is what I'm getting at.
No, as I said, well, it's good because once again, so many people know you, and even so many people now know you. More people know you now because of the fact that you went out to the Oscar gala in Hollywood, in California. Yes, yeah. That's really cool. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna have another brief commercial, and then we'll be right back. I'm Alan Greenstein, founder and producer at Support Our Hashtag Creatives. If you make something, albeit make a movie, start a business, write a book, make a physical product, run a nonprofit, promote people, are a songwriter, etc. You too are a creative, and I would love to have you be a guest on the Support Our Hashtag Creatives podcast. If you want to be featured on this podcast, please use the contact tab on my website at supportourcreatives.com or email me directly at alan@supportourcreatives.com. Okay, we're back. So, is there any other subject that you would like to talk about?
I guess just that, anyone out there that wants to, view my shows or hear my audio podcast, just go onto my website, crystalstarnes.com, and join the community awareness page, and you'll have access to all of my stuff that I'm doing. And, you can find me on Facebook as well. And, I welcome all that. And I would like for people to subscribe to my YouTube channel because, again, I air everything on there as well, too. So I welcome anyone that wants to come on, just reach out.
Yeah. So I guess through crystalstarnes.com, you can get to also have links to YouTube and like that on there too.
Yes.
Good. So once again, the one-stop shop, crystalstarnes.com. Yeah. Okay. Well, Crystal, it's been really great having you on today. And I'm so glad that, and I will be seeing you at future events as well as and being on each other's podcasts and stuff like that. So once again, thanks, Crystal. And don't forget that I want to tell people that for those who don't have a chance to watch this live, it's going to be eventually it will be showing up in a few days on platforms such as Spotify and all those kinds of platforms, your favorite platforms. So and of course I will publicize that when it's available. So let people know, and so that they can tune in when I have the stuff available. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you, Crystal, for being here. And
for having me.
Okay, so I will see you really soon.
Okay. Take care, everyone.
Here's a message about Crystal Starnes, advocate for victims, and podcaster.
Are you an entrepreneur, actor, music artist, or someone trying to make a difference in the community, or have a story that could help someone suffering in silence? If your answer is yes, then you need to check out Crystal Starnes' various podcast shows that she produces and hosts. Come on one of her shows and make a difference. Promote your business on her platforms. Ask her about package deals to get your brand more noticed. Want a commercial about your business done by her voice? She also offers package deals for that service. You can find her at crystalstarneshow.com and voiceforvictimsradio.com. Also, if you want access to all her podcast shows and blogs, join her community awareness page for just $4.99 a month. That's right, just $4.99 a month. Then you would have access at a click of a button to her various platforms. Crystal Starnes is trying to make a difference for all people in the world. She wants to help as many people as she can so no one is suffering in silence. Anyone who has a vision and wants to achieve their dream, she has the passion to help promote you to get you to the next level of success.